boys here today to share insight into how you got to where you got to and what we can do to kind of follow suit or use this book to build.
Nice little intro. We got there.
Okay, so S and Champs. First question is, who are you guys? Like, who are you?
They call me ChampsOG. So the OG missed that. It naturally kind of came about, just the way that we carry ourselves. Like a lot of people look at us like a big bro that, not by blood, but we're always preaching and teaching. So the OG comes on the end. So ChampsOG. And
yeah, man.
S the spirit.
OG. S.
Okay, and what was life like growing up in London? What was life like for you?
I'm gonna get into the whole story.
Well, yeah, start from however far back, like from kids. Like.
Obviously, we grew up with just a mum, the single household. Obviously, I had an older brother to look up to. That's my father figure. But obviously, yeah, our mum always tried the best. But I feel like with our type of culture, if the way you look at us, but would be labelled as black or brown or whatever you want to say, you get to a certain age where you need to go outside and explore for yourself and experiment, and that's where it all begins, isn't it? So our mum did the best that she could till we went outside and had to learn for ourselves.
I think we was, to be honest, like we was outside from early.
From young, yeah.
I was outside from 5 years old. I used to take him to school, had my own keys from 5, cooking from 5. My mum was working 2-3 jobs. She was a grinder. She was still studying to become a teacher.
That's what I'm saying.
Went to school. She would drop us early in the playground. We'd wait there we'll be there for about an hour and a half before all the other kids come. then we'd start school. After school, we'd be there till like 4 or 5 doing after school football club. We'd go to different play centres. There was a lot of different charities that would come and pick us up. It's not like today. There was different youth clubs, different organisations that would come and get us, take us swimming, take us bowling. After school, we'd be playing football. We'd be going to different play centres. Yeah, man, we were just outside. We didn't even have a TV till I was about 8 years old. I bought the first TV, a black and white one. Bought a Master System, Super Nintendo. I used to charge him £1 to play on it. Man used to sleep on the top bunk.
That's the first lessons of business there.
I used to sleep on the top bunk. He'll be on the bottom bunk. But I didn't really like computer too much. He loved the computer, innit? So I'd charge him to play. And he'll give me like his little £1. We used to get £1 a week. You know what I'm saying? I'll take his £1 and then I'll have my £2 and I'll just catch up on the top thing. I had to listen to like all the garage stations and jungle. It was jungle back then. So it was like Skibbity, Shabba, all of that. And then I think it was like Raw FM. I used to listen to Raw FM. That was like Tuza, Peck. We was in Northwest, innit? So it was kind of the garage days. The whole Northwest was like more like the yardman culture. So it was like ragga, all of them type of things, innit? House parties.
Is Northwest London where you guys grew up?
Yeah, Northwest.
North
Camden,
London,
Kilburn, moved to Hampstead, West Hampstead, near the hospital, sorry, Raw 3.
Then Finchley.
And then eventually, where we buck you and the man them.
Yeah.
That was when one was about 13. Yeah, so when I come to Finchley, I was 13. He was probably 10. Yeah.
I remember he was the first guy I ever saw wear a hat to the side. In school.
But you know what it is? We never had. You see how people have someone to look up to and base their fashion on. We had to just make it up. So we was making up everything ourselves. We'd go Camden, get biker jackets, Avrexes, all of that. Man was wearing Avrex from like 13. You know what I'm saying? When I saw them man had the biker jackets, the Kawasaki's, Man had the Kawasaki thing.
All the different
Man was getting all of them
errors.
things, the Visu, all of that. We kind of started that.
Iceberg history.
Iceberg, Machino,
Machino,
off key. Yeah, man.
And what about like sticking with them days? Like, what about challenges, trials and tribulations? Like,
I think when you're young, you don't really think about trials and tribulations. You're just trying to get it. You don't really know about money. You're just outside having a good time, wanting to go to little house parties. You're young.
Different generations.
It was different, innit? Then, like school years, you want to get trainers. We were shoplifting. We were out there. Like, my mum didn't give us any money to buy anything. Like, I would literally just go and foot the car. You know how it was. We used to just go with your dirty crepes, try on the new ones, and then man's flying down Oxford Street, or with like, we had little ways of like teeth in it. So I was like banned from every place in like West End, because after school I get the bus up there and steal clothes, and like those are the trials and tribulations. Trying to stay fly, but you ain't got no money. We do paper round. That's like £13 a week. Or you sell things in school. You'll sell sweets, or you'll sell whatever, and then eventually you might sell something else. But we're not here to incriminate ourselves, and we don't really do all of that.
Going back a step to when you used to charge champs a pound to play computer.
Yeah.
Where did that? How did you even clock how to do that? How does that thought even come into your head?
Thing is, you got to realise I'm so young.
I feel guilty to do like that. I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even
Nah. It's more.
But you got to realise, I'm young.
Putting that to one side, it's more. I'm talking more about the business acumen of it.
Yeah, no, I didn't really care about the money, and he didn't care about the money.
I didn't care about the
but
money.
he wants to play it all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants to play it, so it's like.
So he's got to sacrifice watching TV or something.
Yeah, he's just there playing the computer, like hogging it.
Yeah.
And I don't really, so I'll just take his pound and might go buy some ice poles or, you know.
The chemistry of brothers though, isn't it? The older brother.
Yeah.
In my mind, I was always training him, innit?
Yeah.
From young, like in my mind, like I was training him.
Yeah.
That's how I actually used to think, innit?
When did you mentioned like mums, you never buying nothing for you lot? I can relate to that, obviously, and not because they don't want to, because they can't. The money's not there for that. And in my case, it was just me. In your mum's case, it's two of you. She's got a feed, so that's twice as hard. But how did you? Was that the motivation to start kind of thinking of money in a bit more of a serious way, like to when you was young?
I feel you got to pull it back, because I feel like this generation, everybody just cares about money, innit? But our generation was more the stripes, the name, innit? It was the gang sort of thing. So before the money, there was still there's years before the money.
No, but
came
I've always
into play.
known about money.
We've always known about money, but I feel like there was a stage where man's just, it's for their name, innit?
Yeah.
You get me? And then the money comes into.
No, let me say my mindset. Yeah,
go on. Different minds.
My mum, there were 7 of them. They grew up in Northwest, and so there's 4 girls, 3 boys. The 4 girls live in one room, 2 single beds. My mum used to go head to toe with her sister, innit, on the bed, till 15 years old. So she was always reminding us that we're like how she had to struggle. Yeah. So she didn't even used to put the heating on in the winter.
Saver,
my mum, not that she's tight, but she learned how to budget. She taught me everything about budgeting. That's why in the book, it's all about budgeting, saving. The knowledge I have comes from my mum, because she knew how to save. She knew how to make a lot with a little. You know, like in the winter, the heating didn't even come on for an hour. I used to go like this, and the cold air used to come out. Remember I used to have tissues in my pocket because I had a cold a lot.
Yeah.
That's from the cold in my house. Do you understand? Yeah. I'm not even trying to say that man had it bad compared to some people, but my mum just made certain sacrifices. When we was young, all our possessions could fit in 2 bags because we moved a lot from council flat to council flat until we got into a good area. And then she managed to buy that flat just from 3 bags. And you know, the council used to give you discounts and all that. Eventually, that's how we got into into where we bucked you in that area is because we'd bought our flat and then managed to sell the flat and then get onto the ladder of a house and mortgage and all of these things. But it was through my mum's sacrifice. So I learned from money, it takes sacrifice. If you want something nice, you have to sacrifice. It's your time, the things you do. No Sky TV, no takeaways. Man had none of that. All of our clothes came from my mum's sister's children, like the cousins, hand-me-down clothes, everything. I never had a brand new clothes in my life. You know, like today, you'll get a young single mum, she'll buy her kid Nikes, tracksuits, all these different things. We never had any of that. Just second-hand clothes. So it's a different mentality. So I've learned now, like in these current times, we're heading into a recession. Recession doesn't even affect me because I live my whole life preparing for the worst, like living on a budget, prepared for hard times. So when the world's in a recession, it's nothing to me because I've already made those sacrifices earlier on. Yeah, I live in that type of mindset. Like, don't waste, there's starving people in the world. My mum say, finish everything on the plate because there's starving people in the world. Like, that's your conscious mind. So I was always conscious and aware that there's other people out there that have no money. And I'm not going to waste. I'm going to value things, innit? So that's it, really.
A slight pivot into, like, still into growing up, but, like, talking about race now. Obviously, you two are mixed race. Your mum's white and your dad's black.
No, my mum, like, so...
Yeah, go on.
So my mum's not white. She used to get the same racism as black people because she's originally... what we say Hebrews, you see, like the Moors, the Hebrews, all of that. So her parents were originally from Egypt. They're mentioned in the Bible. Like, she's got a deep history in her family, like very spiritual background. And they got taken to Iraq, and they basically they're called the Jews now, but Hebrew people. They were taken to Iraq. They lived in Iraq. And then they were kicked out of Iraq. They went into Portugal, Spain. The Spanish Inquisition kicked out again, went back to Iraq. And they got into the opium trade. So her family are very, like, prominent in that world, yeah. Like, she's got cousins that are billionaires. And then they moved into Shanghai. There's loads of books on her family. But they're known as the Black Jews because... like, my granddad was my colour. He's not, my mum's not white. Like, it's not European blood. It's North Africa. Egypt is in Africa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where people mistake a lot of things, isn't it?
Yeah. Where's your mum from? That
Iraq.
question is for that answer, not what I said before when you edit.
Yeah, just go on.
Yeah, bro, listen, doesn't matter. Listen, my mum is from Iraq.
Yeah.
Originally.
Edit.
And if we're doing it, her parents were
man
born
knows where you're going with it, innit?
Yeah.
Because the world would still see us as of mixed heritage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
but you see what it is. Even in the book, I say don't use terms like white and black. No one's black and white. It's not.
You get me, man?
Don't describe people as black and white because it's deeper. It's
But we
not.
still do though.
Yeah, we do because we're lazy and they've given us these labels.
It's we're programmed.
Yeah.
It's
But
programmed.
I see
for us
myself.
to say.
If we're gonna do that, then I'm just black in it because that's how I don't really do
if
the
you
whole
put the
mixed
line
race
in
thing.
the sand, innit?
I don't
Just
do all
black
of
or
this.
white.
Yeah.
Man's never.
When white people put the line in the sand.
All you got.
Yeah.
We lived it, right? We grew up.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
part of our growth and us coming into who we are. Man never really identified with any white side, innit?
Yeah.
Our culture has always been a bit.
Listen, my mum's brothers, they got called wogs. The girls got called packies. You know what I mean? Say this on the camera. That's, you know what I mean? I'm allowed to say these words. That's what they got called. Like, coming to England, they were immigrants. My mum's parents came from India. They weren't born in India. They had moved to India from Shanghai and then before Iraq. Yeah, because like I said, she had a big prominent family. They were in her side of the family got bumped out of the money, so that's a whole other story. But her cousins, like her first cousins, are billionaires. Like, they're like the 5th richest family in Hong Kong, and they're like they married into British and different things. So I call them the evil side, but you know, we'll get into that one day. Like, basically, that's another thing that made me conscious and aware about money, because my mum was poor. Her dad grew up, raised all these kids, 7 kids in a little 3-bedroom house. They had no money. And the whole time he had first cousins that were billionaires. So I knew that money is not an evil thing, but money can change people. Money shows your true colours, you know. It amplifies who you really are. And these people that had money had kind of forgotten that side of the family. They were growing up poor in the UK, and these ones were billionaires in Hong Kong, and they're still billionaires to this day. They still owe my mum's side of the family money, but you know, you just leave them to it, and it makes you more conscious and aware. Like me, I'd never be comfortable being a billionaire, because when there's people that are starving, I would give it all away. Like I'm not gonna, like I don't really care about money like that. I just need enough to live nice and to be free. But money to me it's energy. So if I've got money, it's about sharing it and living good and like seeing other people live good. And yeah, just.
How did like, obviously you've just been talking about like the whole race thing. Like how did race, in what other ways did race affect you guys growing up?
Like me, I never really, like my dad is Jamaican, innit? And then my mum is that, so you're mixed race, yeah? You're mixed, you're from 2 different places. Sometimes you might think, oh, I don't really fully belong to that, or you don't, but I don't really think like that. To me, I was just like a yard man. I'm from northwest London. You know what I'm saying?
Man's always identified.
I identify with the black thing.
The black culture.
That's my culture, innit?
Yeah.
That's man's culture.
I know.
I listen. Yeah. No, but I'm saying, man's a black boy.
Man's never really had problem with race. Obviously, you get racist people, and man grew a bit in the Barnet borough, so you get them little.
No. You know what it is? A lot of mixed race. No, a lot of mixed race people are lost. They don't really. But I'm not one of those ones. Yeah. Like I know where I come from. I know my roots. I know my whole tree, all the way thousands of years. Then I know my dad's side, his roots, Maroons in Jamaica, and originally from Africa. I know the whole history. Like I come from a spiritual background. My bloodline is very spiritual. My mum's spiritual. My dad was spiritual. So I kind of, when you know your roots, you have like a sense of like who you are. You know yourself, innit? Yeah. So I never really suffered with any type of race issues, like.
Yeah, but if you want to broaden the thing, if you're talking about our generation, how it grew up with race, but I think we're a bit behind America. So like obviously, the police, the system is a little bit, if you want to put in that way, against you. Like you will get stopped more when we was young and certain things. But man never really let that affect us. It's not the being or end. Man's a hustler.
No. So. Let me correct myself. Racism exists. I'm not talking about there's no racism, but I'm saying as an identity thing, I knew who I was. Like, there's racism is out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
But man, I'm trying to say it never really.
The first time when we went to prison, the first time when we went, the first time when man went to jail was because of the racism, innit? Yeah, remember?
It's true. But yeah, it never really was an obstacle like that. I would say race. Because man was proud of who we are. We're London, innit? So man's multicultural. You can be proud of who you are.
It did affect our lives, because look at us, yeah. When the man was calling up, getting racist, and then my man stabbed, we went to prison, innit? Even though they provoked the whole thing, and was, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I said. The system can be set
up. We never had the
it.
criminal records in them times. You know what I'm saying?
But you can still rise above it, innit? It's not. I don't see it as a full like obstacle.
Let's talk racism bigger than just you two, me, big in the world, in our society in London. How do you think it affects black people as a whole?
I'd say it's not just racism. It's classism.
Yeah.
So it's not just racism, because if you go in London to an estate, obviously majority, they have pushed the blacks into a certain area, or what they call minority, which we know that word's not even true anyway. But they push it.
It's institutional.
It's already. It's called. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let me break that down. Yeah. See,
Let
England.
me finish that point. That point is just
Yeah,
that
we'll come back to that.
when
See,
you go into the estate, it's not just black people. There's white and Asian. So it's classism, innit? It's the lower class.
All right, no, let me give you the history of England. Yeah, England, yeah, is peasants, lords, and the king and queen. Yeah, the House of Commons is for the commoners. Yeah, and you have the lords. Certain families that are the lords, they decide what goes on. The commons pass it up to the lords, and then it becomes law. Yeah, when this is a peasant society. Yeah, no one's got no say in anything. Yeah, so he's talking about class and. That's what comes into it, yeah. Class, you know, there's levels to this. Lower class, middle class people, upper class people. You know, this is society, yeah, in England. That's what the UK is like. It's different to America. America is where loads of different countries went there and it was a new land and blah, blah, blah. We'll get into that, yeah. England is like institutionally racist. They're never going to let how many black lords are there? Do you know what I'm saying? In the House of Lords. How many black MPs are there? What, we're going to let someone like David what's his name? That idiot from Tottenham. He's an idiot. Do you know what I'm saying?
David Lammy.
Yeah, I don't really even like to talk on people, but the spokespeople for black people in this country is pathetic. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no black leaders.
Because they'll get washed down and
There's no... So if we're dealing with racism, right now, there's the Asian guy, and he's got the rich wife and he's going to try and be the prime minister. Right, Asian people and British people have stronger ties because of India and England, like their relationship. The whole
British Empire
the British Empire, India and England are close. They've always been close. Yeah, they do a lot of business. Yeah, this is from like war times. Yeah, Africa is been divided, as we know. Yeah, when they colonized it. And so Africa, they haven't yet Africa hasn't sorted itself out. So we don't have any representation. So say if something happens to Asian people, India will get on the phone and you can't mess with my people. We don't have anything like that as black people. You understand? Chinese people, if you mess with Chinese people, they've got Chinatown. You mess with Chinese people, the Chinese embassy or the Chinese government will be on the phone to English government and they'll sort it out. We don't have any representation like that in England. So it's deep institutional racism. We're way behind. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not a blaming thing, but we need to get it together ourselves and then eventually it will just, we can fix things here from the inside.
You mentioned the MP from Tottenham.
Yeah.
And you said the black spokespeople for black people
in
this country are soft, washed. Why do you think that is?
Because that's who they let in. Do you know what I'm saying? You're dealing with like a plantation. There's slave niggas,
the field nigger,
and there's house niggas. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it real. Yeah? And that's what you're dealing with. Those people are selected. They're puppets. They let those ones come through because they're soft. Do you think they're going to let someone like me start talking and rising up the people? It's dangerous. Do you understand? Because when we're together, it's, you know what I mean? It's a threat because they owe us money. And it's kind of like war. When you're dealing with war, when you're dealing with politics, yeah, you're dealing with economics. You've seen in this Russia thing, yeah, Russia-Ukraine, you've seen how it's played out. It's all about economics, economic warfare. So when you're dealing with politics, it's all about warfare. And so where they've done so much fuckery to Africa, they owe Africa a lot of money. All their resources comes from there. They don't want that place to unite, get strong economically, get their power together, because now it's going to affect their pockets.
It's happening.
It's happening slowly.
It's happening.
But it's a thing where, like England, you're talking about the racism, and there's no point even really getting into that too much. You know what I'm saying? You need to...
That's the thing in life. You
don't really want to talk too much.
You can deal with the reality, but you can't complain too much and feel like that victim mentality, innit? You've got to rise above it. So at the end of the day, land is just land. Who conquered it first? You know what I'm saying? So who was the natives of Britain?
That's what I'm saying. The Celtic, the native people all around the world are African people.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying when you deal with Britain,
Yeah.
which is on what they say, the northern hemisphere,
Yeah.
what would have been the British native? When they discovered this land, were they black?
Yeah, of
Habitants,
course.
like-
Yeah, of course. Celtic, Scottish people.
Scottish have a black
If you
gene
go
in them.
back
Yeah.
like thousands of years, there's black people inhabited all of the world,
what,
innit?
what I'm getting to is that Britain's been
They've
put in a
conquered it now.
chokehold now. You get me? They put their flag in the ground. It's a white country, and now dealing with the last couple hundred years, you got the migrating, the Windrush, the certain things that happen. Same thing they done in Australia. Turn that into a white haven. You know what I'm saying? If you're a criminal, you can't even go to Australia now because that's their stronghold. So Britain, it's like one of the second, third. Like it is a white country, but it's still multi-racial in certain cities. So just get on with it, innit? You get me?
I kind
The
of view the world different. To me, the world, yeah, is like just like marketplaces, like big cities.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
So Britain is the hub of the world. Back in the day, there might have been Egypt was the hub. Back in the day, Rome
Babylon.
was the hub. Greece. Then there was places in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Timbuktu, all these different places. Yeah. These are just the hubs, the main places where trade is going on. America, right now, the New World Order, America is the top dog. You know what I'm saying? They've got the most military.
But now they're falling
And
off.
the dollar, everything goes against the dollar. So right now, what we're seeing play out is that
Is them lose their
China
power.
and Russia and these other countries are trying to emerge, and like it's like a power thing, innit? So that's what's going on. And to me, as just an individual living in the world, you just gotta, just find where you fit in, make your money, and try and affect your community, because you're never going to be able to change the whole world, but you can change your environment. And if I have an effect on this person, he has an effect on someone else, and then eventually you just like make a better type of society.
The reason why I talk about racism here is because it's part of everything in life. It affects everything. It affects how someone communicates with you, interacts with you.
But let us pause you there, and you're going to get into your
go on.
question. But we kind of preach that. We even understand that racism is not a bad thing. It's just the way you look at things and the play on words. What does it mean? To love your own race. And that's what we even preach, that, innit? That's what black people fail to do the most. We don't love ourselves the most. Other cultures stay together. You look at a Jewish community, an Asian community, and they all work together. Economics, susu, what we put in the book. So racism, depending what side of the coin you look at it, is it a bad thing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Let me get
Only
people
if it's hate.
If
on
we're
the
dealing
race,
with
but-
nature, yeah. If you're dealing with nature, yeah. All right. They always say things like that. Birds of a feather flock together. Like the blackbirds fly with the blackbirds and blah blah blah. Separation and blah blah blah. Yeah. But for the world to evolve and to become a beautiful place, things have to spread. That's how you get different varieties of trees, different breeds of insects, and things mix. And that's how things keep changing. So to me, it's like you can look at yourself as an individual, but that's a bad thing spiritually sometimes, because it's good to love yourself, but we're all from the human family.
But that's what I'm saying. It goes
And-
back to one race. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
Eventually.
it's good to say, yeah, I'm a Jamaican. I love my people, and I do love my people. Yeah, I'm saying you're gonna love your own first. Like when you look in the mirror, you love yourself first, then you love your immediate tribe,
But that's what
your spiritual
what you're saying
tribe.
is
But
the real
then,
truth.
yeah. So then, but what I'm saying
You
is,
love your family first.
yeah,
Then
you
you
love
love-
your spiritual
yeah.
tribe, but someone from another tribe, you might love that person, and
Yeah,
then they
but
get
you
together.
love yours first. You
Yeah,
feel me? That's
but then they can become your tribe, spiritually. A black man can meet a white woman. They get it on, like, I'm not against all of them things. I'm not like Umar
Yeah.
Johnson. I love Umar Johnson. You get me?
But that's
He's a
the
real,
thing, I'm
he's
not-
a real
I'm
one.
not-
You know what I'm saying? Nah, Dr. Umar is blood. That's my nigga. You get me? I love Umar Johnson. You know what I'm saying? No homo, whatever, blah, 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 yeah? He's a real one. But to me, like, I'm in, like, I know the racism thing, but it's all right for people to do what they're doing, innit? You know what I'm saying? Just come on, man. We're
That's
all
what I'm saying.
people,
I'm
like,
just playing
I've gone
devil's advocate to make you look at things in different ways. Because you feel me? Some people just say it's black
if you're
or white.
full of,
it's black and white.
what's happening is so much fuckery has happened to black people, yeah. Now you're gonna start to hate the people that done that to you, innit? And that's natural, innit? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get angry and I just want to bun
the consequences.
You know what I'm saying?
Need to come.
I want to do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there has to be
reparations. Needs to come.
No, it's still, I'm still coming. On that. I'm like, you see me? I'm like Khalid Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? I'm raw. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Something has to happen. They have to run some money. They have to run some trillions. You get me? Lizzie, you have to run back that money. You know what I'm saying?
It's the truth.
Yeah. Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. Run back them peas. You get me? To Africa, India, all of the places where you stole them diamonds, all of the money that you've raped from all over the world. You have to run back them peas. But what I'm saying is, I don't need to hate the average white person that's on the street because they're just not. You know what I'm saying?
But then it gets into our other debate. We have mad healthy conversations, and we had one the other day when you deal with the race, innit, and you showed me about how one person, their family tree goes into 1 million people. So when you look on a person, you see him as white. 5 generations ago, he could have been, his parents could have been dark skin. You feel me? So it's not just the appearance of someone and the shade of their skin and how much melanin. Yeah. You got to deal with what's inside of them.
It's spirit.
You get me? That's why you could have a white brethren that chills with you.
Let me say something.
More nigga.
Let me say something. Let me say something
because it's in his spirit. Like.
No,
you feel me?
Let me say something now because I'm comfortable in it. I'm starting to warm up. Yeah. This is my first time on the camera, innit? This is my first time on the camera. I'm warming up. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They know me as the spiritual one, innit? I deal with spiritual things, innit? I deal with everything spiritual, like tribe. I don't deal with you're my brother because you're black, because you could be a pagan. Who sold us into slavery? It was other black people. So it's not as simple as saying, oh, I love everyone that's black, and it's not simple black and white. And then there could be white people that's done the most for you. So it's not that simple. Obviously you love your own first, but I deal with spirit. I deal with good people, like spiritual energy, my spiritual tribe. And more time, my spiritual tribe is gonna be like other people like myself, because it's just that way. Like I think it's just your upbringing, like Rasta people, Caribbean people, they've got a similar mindset. They've gone through similar things, so you end up spiritually aligned to people like yourself. But yeah, man, it's deep. Like race is a deep thing. Like
conversation that can go forever, man.
Yeah, for real. But relating that to money, what would you say that, you know, most you know, black culture, like when you look at like the millionaires, billionaires in the West, it's like there aren't, you know.
You gotta look at it again at angles, man.
Is structured racism that you talked about?
Yes,
is
now
that something that's keeping black
now,
people from being able to be as wealthy as others?
Now we're gonna get into different things here that I mentioned in the book, and I'm mentioning in the new book in a deeper way, But it's like value. So what is money? First of all, money is just energy. Like a piece of paper has no value, it's just paper, innit? So when you talk about wealth, someone could have all this money in their bank account, it's nothing, you know, like you haven't got that physically. Like having wealth is having freedom. You know, there's loads of things that make you wealthy, not just money. Money is just the receipt for your energy, So it's just a piece of paper, You could have crypto in your account, or you could have fiat in your account, but no one can see it. It's just there, like in your account. Like your health, your family, all these things make you a wealthy person, innit? Me, I'm rich. You understand? Rich gang, And I might not have as much money as certain people, but in my mind, I'm richer than them because of just my mindset. So to me, that's the first thing, But then if we're gonna talk about like
also just quickly, in reality, outside of the mind, you two have got peace. I can confirm that, but continue.
All right, we're comfortable, but you see what it is.
There's a reason why I'm speaking to you two about your book about money, but
All right, so we're comfortable, but we're not like billions or
we're not yet financially free.
Yeah,
so we're still playing grinding. This game, bro. We're still grafting. But what he's coming down to is the value.
So what I'm saying is like value of things, And
that's, I think you should go back to the point about the billionaires, because you see our mission is different to certain man. Like if we get that bag that we're talking 100 mil, man's giving away 90 mil. because we don't give a fuck like that. We got a certain number where we're happy, and certain people talk this generational wealth. Like that whole debate, like I said to my brother, man, don't care about generational wealth. Why is everyone preaching it? Do you think I care about my kids that I never even met?
That's another thing as well.
I never met them.
Yeah, they could be pussios. You might not even like them.
Blood.
You might not even like them.
I'm only dealing with my kids. My kids and my kids. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry. I know what times we're living in. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm getting to is, me personally, it's an opinion thing, innit? But I care about my direct kids and their kids. And my duty is to give him the wisdom and her the wisdom to and the money skills to take that on and deal with their kids. And they can deal with their kids. And then I'm not here to I got to enjoy my money at the same time.
And let me keep it real.
Like,
let me keep it real. If I have a child, and my child is an idiot and I don't like his morals and his values, I might leave him nothing and just do good with it in the world. Because just because you're my family, you have to be my spiritual tribe. You have to be aligned with my mindset, and you can't just be selfish, trying to keep all this money to yourself. Be tight, and okay, I'm a billionaire. My family's gonna have billions. Then I'm just becoming like these Queen Elizabeths and these families that I don't like, and I don't like them.
That's what I'm trying
to
get.
Understand? I'm trying to be like Robin Hood, and feed the hood. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because people get too focused on this money that they forget everything else, and they're just trying to get the bag. And then when you got that mindset that I'm doing it for my youths. You're so focused on the money, you're not even going to enjoy your own life.
Let me explain what this is, because it's...
We're coming to it.
No, but I want to just say now while it's on my mind, it's about being a conscious hustler. So it's about we making money to give back. Because there's a quote, I think, out there, I don't know which billionaire said it, but the first half of your life is you're trying to make money.
Diddy said it recently, didn't it?
Yeah, but he stole it off someone else.
That's what I'm saying.
So then
the second half of your life is to give.
No, that's the third half. The second half, you're building your legacy and your thing, and then the final half
also
is
say in
give it out.
The spiritual. One hand's to take and one hand's to give.
You're trying to make money.
Yeah.
The second third, you're
trying to build your legacy and achieve what you're trying to achieve, and
then the last third
is give it all away and share it with other people.
But that is legacy to me, and that's where we always come back to that debate.
Yeah, but
any man sitting with 100 billion in their account is a
pussy.
dirty individual, disgusting, diseased, and greed is the biggest disease of man. So any man that can sit and deal with their little family empire that's got 10 billion, 100 billion, and you see the suffering that's in the world, you're a dirty individual, innit? Dirtiest. You're evil in your heart. And that's why all these men out here that are, you get me, they don't know when to stop. They make 10 mil, they want 100 mil, then they want 500. You're lost. Stop watching Kanye and all these, man. You're lost.
The thing you said before.
You need to have an end goal.
The thing you said before about, racism exists, but I'm not going to have a victim mindset. I'm just going to find where I fit in and get it how I can. There's something about the victim mindset within our culture.
It's because it's been programmed. So no, let me get a little point and then I'll let you. It's been programmed from school. So we live in a Western culture where from start all they taught you was how to be a slave. They didn't tell us when we were kings in Egypt or Kemet. They didn't tell us when we used to run the world. They didn't teach us about Black Wall Street. They didn't teach us who we truly are. So it's programmed from young, from that black kid in school, and he might be even Buddhist or Rastafarian, and they're taking him to the church with the school because the school's Christian, you get me? They just programmed this youth, taught him about Henry VIII, this fat dickhead who had 8 wives. They didn't teach him his real history, you feel me? So it's programmed into him, innit? That he's gonna come into this world feeling like it's against him because he feels like he was a slave. And then they tell you that you're a minority when there's more black people in the world than white. How can you be a minority?
What about, but you're a minority in the West. Yeah.
Are you though?
I don't know.
Who's done that census? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't feed that to me. It's bullshit.
True.
Yeah.
They ain't done that census. They couldn't even do that. So you're not a minority. You're a majority. Or you're just equal. Stop trying to make us lower when they deal with the map and they made Africa smaller than the northern hemisphere. Always trying to program you to feel like you're smaller or you're less. But when it comes to sports, you're better. When it comes to certain lessons, you're more intelligent. I'm not going to get into that argument because it's not too much about race. Because as you said, like, we love all, but you're superior in certain things, there's inferior, but it's not about that. But all I'm saying, in Western society, is that the black people have been programmed to feel a bit more like a victim. So you have to snap out of that. You have to go and do your real history. It's in our books. It's one of the rules in the new book. Do you get me? Learn where you came from, innit? Like, know yourself, innit? Find out your history. Do your DNA if you want to. Start researching. Learn about Africa. Learn about certain things so you can empower yourself to not feel like a victim. Because man ain't a victim.
Is there
Go on, you just...
Is there a relationship between mental health in our culture and money?
Of course, but
Yeah.
let me hit that one quickly.
Which
Just a quick point, but it comes down to what people talk about is the trauma and the pain that man goes through to get to it. It depends if you chose the roads and is it even a choice? Because then I'm going to raise another conversation.
Are you talking about mental health? What are you talking about now?
Mental health, but I'm trying to
relate
hit
to
them with
money.
an angle. But all I'm saying is road a choice or is it social conditioning? Did you choose to step off the porch?
Let me just go back to the mental health and
But
money.
this is why I'm getting into it, because it comes from the traumas that you pick up along the way, all the fights you had, watching your brethren get bored, man go jail, all these certain things that build into your mental health.
Let me attack that.
Bad relationships with women because you was never taught from two-parent households, you know what I'm saying? All these different little things that man weren't taught makes you have to only learn from mistake. And mistake can lead to pain, and then it comes back around. So by the time you even get to a business mind and money, you're still dealing with a lot of traumas and pain and different things. So yeah, mental health's a big problem.
If we're going to talk about mental health and money, I always go back to the root of things, innit? So money is energy, yeah? If your energy, if you're going through things, yeah? I got beef on the road, or I'm congested, like I'm living in a council estate, everyone's on top of you, got no space, there's no nature around you, you've got no fresh air. These things are going to affect your energy. And when your energy is low, yeah, because you've got no nature, no sunshine, you can't just jump in the river and swim, your energy is low. And then when you've got low energy, you're going to have low money, because now you're getting in low vibrational things. You're fighting people on the street, you're doing this, you're always angry, you're pissed off. So that means your bank balance is low. You understand? But when you've got good energy, you're happy all the time, people want to be around you. I like my man's energy. Okay, let's do business with my man. Your money starts going up. It's all energy.
So to ask you back, what are you referring to when you say mental health? Like what level and what?
So like any
yeah, mental health will affect you. If you've got no money in your bank, yeah, I'm a dangerous individual. You know me, innit?
Health equals wealth. So if your mental health's off,
let me touch on this, because this is what the people on road and other people that are like me relate to. Yeah, when I've got no money, the wicked side comes out of me, and it's not my fault. It's just that these things, yeah, we've all got devilish ways. Because what happens is, you see all of this, yeah, this is bad. This attracts the evil eye, yeah. So someone that's got no money right now will look at this, yeah, and be like, I don't like my man. I want to rob my man, because you've got no money in your pockets right now, and they'll see me as showing off. I only wear this to attract the young youths so they can listen to me, and I can draw them in, and like it's like an energy thing, but it attracts the evil eye as well. So you have to be careful when you're wearing certain things and portraying a certain thing, because there's someone out there that's going through a struggle right now, and you celebrating your successes or your wins and blah, 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 they're looking at you in a certain way, like your food. And I don't blame them, because we've all been there on the other end. Because when you've got nothing in your pockets, you start like, unless you know how to channel your energy, and you have transferable skills, and you've been taught, or you have good mentorship, and you know how to say, do you know what, I'm not gonna do negative things, I'm gonna use this energy, I'm gonna apply for a job, I'm gonna work, and I'm gonna do certain things. If you're just have bad people around you, you're in a bad state of mind, your mental health is not well, you're gonna end up doing something mad. And like, I've been through that a million times. battling myself, battling my own demons, because like things aren't going right.
But sometimes like I compare money to meat. Like if you deal with the humans and take it way back to our primitive state, like a man used to have to hunt for his meat and bring it home to his family, and it won't be every week that he catches his meat. Yeah. So sometimes I make the comparison that the money now is the meat, and the hunt isn't the hunt, it's the hustle. So man has to hustle to get that meat to bring it home. And sometimes you go without. So
let me get
that
deeper
can
with
bring
it.
out the
primitive. Primitive. If we were dealing with primitive, what's happened is savagery on the roads, and because there's not enough meat to go around. So now you see like chimpanzees that were once vegetarian, they're killing other small monkeys and eating them, becoming savages. Like, because the gorillas, they're still eating leaves because there's enough leaves. So their bellies are full, they're all nice, and they have their little community. The chimpanzees that were once eating fruits off the trees, they've become savagery, and now they're just killing other chimps, and they're all competing. And that's what's going on the roads with money, because it's scarce. There's not enough to go around.
And the level of want and desire has gone up. Like, man used to just want a meal.
I'm not making excuses for people.
Man used to just want 1 meal. Now a man wants 100.
No, listen.
Because the level's gone up because of the internet. Listen. A man see more and more. So
I'm not making excuses for people, but seeing capitalism, we've got capitalism, communism, socialism, these different setups, isms or whatever it is, The way that this society is run is not necessarily the best way. And I'm not saying communism is the best way or in the middle is in the best way, but basically what it is, in this type of market, there's always going to be people that go without, and there's always going to be people that have loads, and there's always going to be people that are dealing with mental health and suffering because they can't get a job just because of the system that we've set up. And I'm saying there's better systems out there. There's better ways of dealing with money. Like you can trade with each other. You can have communities where you all help each other. There's better systems. And that's one day when man has money, I want to sit down with
what we're going to show the youth.
Real people that study economics. We can sit down and discuss a better system, like a better way of living. Because this whole system of we're all competing, you got to hunt to get the meat.
If you didn't realise that
if I don't win
in the
I'm
lockdown,
gonna starve.
Then you're lost. In that lockdown, you realise how powerless you was. You get me? You're relying on them for your water, your gas, your food. Man's going to Tesco and the pasta's gone and the toilet paper's gone. Like, and man realised in that, like, how dumb have this generation of people got that man can't even grow our own food. Don't even know how to trick. Like,
this is what I'm saying. Like, there's better systems. So sometimes you see on the gram these people that are doing gardening and they're setting up like farms
communal
outside.
Farms.
Communal farms.
That should be in
they're swapping sweet
wood.
corn for the potatoes, for the tomatoes.
Every single
everyone's trading. You don't have to rely on the supermarkets. There's better systems out there. There's communes. There's people that live in Israel on kibbutzes and stuff, and then there's places like where there's in India where they have ashrams and they all like
contribute to the community.
Someone does the washing up. Someone does the cooking, and you all live in a communal society. There's better ways.
But when you deep it, the world is like that because it's called functionalism, innit? So everybody's playing their role for it to function. So you got to change either a doctor, the person who shines shoes. Like everyone's making this world run. But with the capitalism, the divide's gone too big, and the people at the top are too greedy. That in order for it to run better, there should be a cap, or they should be helping the ones down
so let's go back to what's going on right now, with Russia and Ukraine, Russia come from the Soviet era, you know what I'm saying? The communism and the communist states, where everyone was kind of more equal, like China, where it's more of an equal playing field, And in the West, we're hardcore capitalists, I'm saying we need to meet somewhere in the middle, like Marcus Garvey used to say, where certain billionaires, like say you own Amazon or whatever, or you own Microsoft or whatever it is, you got so much billions, there should be a cap on that. You don't need to have so much power and control where you can now lobby governments and you can control and have so much influence over the way societies run. Nah, it should be more like in China. I'm not saying we should go like China because they're terrible as well, but I saw when the billionaire from Alibaba or whatever it was, he got too powerful, Jack Ma, whatever it is, and he started talking out on the government. They just came in, kidnapped him for a few months, capped his money, took some of it and gave it back to the country. Do you understand? Because you're trying to get too big for your boots. And I'm not saying necessarily that's the right way, but there needs to be...
But the issue is with that
You
money,
need to think of
they
all
become
people.
the country.
What?
When these billionaires, Jeff Bezos, they become part of the country because
That's not right.
It's wrong. That's what I'm saying. But
What? Just because you made a company, now you're the leader of society.
that's what they want now. They just want a handful of corporations to run the whole thing.
Yeah, but
This is what I'm saying.
blood, they should get their heads licked off.
But
You
it
know
is
what I'm
going to
saying?
change. Yeah, for real.
What can black businesses do to kind of...
I don't think they should even isolate themselves like that. I love everyone that's doing the black business thing, and like, man, takes my hats off to them. Like, you get me? I've seen Mega Man and Swiss, they do the Black Pound Day. I rate all of that. I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it in my heart. Yeah,
It works two ways, bro.
I don't want to say like it's just for black people if I do something. This book's for everyone. This is not like a, you know what I'm saying? So even when I'm talking about their thing, when they have their shop, I hope everyone comes to their shop and supports their shop, because it's not just a black business. Like Chinatown, when you have Chinatown, everyone comes to Chinatown and eats in the Chinese restaurant and supports the Chinese culture. So when we have our thing, Black Pound Day, everyone, I want you all to go there, like from every race, and support that. It's not just for black people. Don't just market your things to one race. Like, anyone can buy it. Anyone can come to a shop that's owned by a black man and support it. You know, we go to the Indian corner shop, we support him. There needs to, you know, open your business, but it's for everyone.
What's the end of your question?
Just like what can black businesses do to kind of rise up a bit more and become more legitimized in society as just businesses rather than black businesses?
You just got to open them up.
You just got to open up and support each other. That's it. Support each other.
Open your business.
Stop doing this ego competition thing.
We don't,
support.
We do too much ego competition and we don't support each other. Why?
No,
how can we?
I'll give you something, yeah?
We do,
and this
we
is
don't.
not a lack of thing, yeah? See, in Africa, it's not like this whole black thing, because everyone's black, innit? So everyone's got a shop, everyone's got a business, everyone's just doing it. You have a company, you're not thinking like, oh, I'm a black business. If you're a man, an individual, or you're a woman,
You're not a black man.
Yeah, you're just a person, and you want to start a business, start your business.
Yeah.
And black people should just, I'm encouraging them to start more businesses.
Do good business. So more what you're saying there is just stick to the rules, because there's rules to everything, and that's why we run your business properly. Run it properly, and then they'll come.
I see something, and I posted it on man's thing the other day, and like this is no shots at the brother, yeah, a Jamaican brother. It was in Wembley, and I rate him for his idea because he was trying to do the funeral business, yeah. And bro, he got arrested because he didn't have the right equipment. He was trying to borrow some money, and he's left 4 dead bodies on the side, and he's put ice packs on them, and then he couldn't. He didn't have some equipment or something. So the body started rotting, maggots and everything. And then obviously the families are complaining because it's hot the other day. Remember when it was hot? Imagine 4 dead bodies in your little workspace, just sitting there, in no proper equipment, like no refrigerating, whatever it is that he needs. And this is what it is. It's like, open a business when you're ready, do it properly, because otherwise you're just gonna get a bad reputation. You understand?
That's why I say there's rules to business, bro.
You need to be taught
everything in life. Down to the man that's on the road shotting, there's rules. And there's rules, and that's why you see 100 people do the same thing. 100 man can open a Caribbean shop, and only 5 of them do good.
They don't. Yeah. No,
why?
Let me.
Because there's rules.
Let me explain something.
There's rules, bro.
Yeah, it's to do with culture and family and working together. Yeah. See, like in the Indian community, they always open up shops. Now they have a good recipe and they know how the shop game works. They've been doing it for years and years and years and years. They've learned everything about it. And a Turkish guy could come and they open up a kebab shop. They know everything about kebab shops. They've learned it. They passed it on to their sons. So they bring in their family.
Black people should stick to
find something
that
and learn it. It's gonna take It's gonna take
and then pass
10, 20 years, but then pass it to your son. Bring in your family, and just stick to something.
That comes back to my point that it's the broken families again. There's too much broken families, isn't it? That's why nothing's getting passed down. Because if you watch certain other cultures, like he just said,
And there's
the
no
dad's
unity.
a builder, so he brings his son with him
And there's
building.
and
There's nothing.
and
A
there's
lot of
no-
us ain't got a pops or
there's no
a good role
unity.
model.
Aye,
So
once
it comes back to unity,
yeah. So
community.
when they have the corner shop, they have their family members working there. Everyone comes in. It's a community. You know, like we're gonna start this shop in my family today. You're all gonna help us, and then when you've got the money, we'll help you start your shop. You know, they work together. Like no one's
But
really
they know
working
the
together.
levels, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna throw that out there because I don't put negative characteristics onto certain people because I don't like to generalize. But with these certain cultures, there's no like our brethren's Asian. His dad worked for him, and they made the meals together. Then the little brother took it on, and he can go and do whatever he wants. But there was no ego, you know, like with the levels. I'm the boss, and that's a problem with. I won't say with black people. I just say with the culture.
Keep it
With
real,
the community,
keep it real.
there's a bit of a problem where everyone wants to be a boss.
Yeah.
But you ain't a boss, bro. Like
Yeah.
you had even from when we was on the road shotting, you never had no workers, bro. You never
and-
you ain't a boss.
and
like,
that's
you ain't
another
got
thing, yeah.
the qualities to be a boss.
Even
so
in
when
here,
you
yeah.
come and make a business and you're trying to have workers,
Even in
and
here, yeah.
it
Look,
ain't gonna
workers
work.
and bosses, yeah. In this chapter,
me?
workers and bosses,
Book's
yeah.
the truth.
In this chapter, yeah, I explain certain things, yeah. A worker can make more than a boss. Like this is just the whole ego thing. I want to be the boss, yeah, and you want to That's a lot of responsibility. You know, like running a business is a lot. Like you don't work a 9 to 5. You work 12 hours, 15 hours, because when you go home, the work carries on. We've got businesses, running a car business, yeah. Okay, you're selling cars during the day, but then you've got to go home, do tax returns, you've got to do all the bookkeeping, you've got to fill out forms.
That's right.
You've got, it's like you're working twice as hard as the 9 to 5 guy.
I used to have that
So
conversation
really-
with my mum.
So really,
Who's winning,
You're a worker. Like I'm a worker. Like I work. I'm the
Unless
best.
you have staff and they're doing everything.
If you have staff in your business and you're just on holiday the whole time, you're a real boss.
And that's what a
because
lot of people forget with business. You're going to open a business, you're going to be the number one worker, the hardest one, for a lot of years, till you can build it to a level where you employ the people that's going to do them roles.
Yeah.
And they don't know, a lot of them don't know that hard work that's going to come with it, because they just want to run around and get the reputation or the label that comes with it. I own my own business.
Yeah.
Go own your own business.
Yeah, my advice
A lot of
to
them
the young,
fail.
my
You know what I'm
advice to the
saying?
young people is
It's true.
get a job first, yeah.
Yeah,
Get
learn
your 9 to
the
5.
steps.
Work, like get a salary, so you and then you want to pursue your dream on the side, and when it starts making enough money that you can like pay all the bills, stack money as well, then you quit your 9 to 5 or your job.
I wouldn't personally. I
That's
wouldn't
my
say
advice.
there's one set way, because another man, like your brethren here's got a camera here. He could have picked up that camera when he's 16 and just started learning the skills, and along the way he's gonna build and build. So what I like to say, a lot of business teachers teach that you need multiple streams of income and all this rubbish. Me personally, focus on one first. Like master one, the one you're passionate about, the one you've done from young. Master it, build it up, and that will be your main stream of income that you can now go on and do all the investments on the side. But what I'm trying to say is, like, there's no set way in it, but it's about the experience that comes with it.
They're making me sweat.
So it's like, even the shotter, he has to grab an 8 ball when he starts. So he turns it into a Q, a half, a Z, a 9 bar. You get me? He gets a brick. Now he gets a worker. Now he gets
Listen,
two
let's not
workers.
promote any of that anyway.
I'm not
brother,
promoting that, but I'm just saying there's levels and stages to success.
And that
you have
comes
to
with
apply
risk.
that with everything you do in life. And like you said, if you're on the wrong side of the law, it comes with risk. So there's calculated risk. But there's risk in the legit world, because you might invest 50 bags to start that business and it fails.
Yeah, but
so it's all a calculation.
Yeah, there's all different
But don't risk
calculations.
your freedom.
But you're not gonna
Like-
sit in the can. So
Yeah,
let's not
so-
promote that lifestyle. Yeah.
No,
If you came from that
a step
lifestyle,
You lot are not promoting it. You're just keeping it real.
yeah, we're
with-
talking
I
to
ain't
people.
promoting it, but just understand if there's a lot of people out here that could watch this that are living that lifestyle, so they have to understand
Listen,
that that's a stepping stone.
I
innit?
watched
and take
I
those
watched
skills.
Other interviews I've done in the past, there's been times where, you know, like it's been out of my hands. The questions that the conversation's sort of been out of my hands and guided by a force that's bigger than me. So I have to kind of stick by those guidelines. By sticking to those guidelines, it means that they want me to leave out certain topics and conversation that other people that we know can relate to. I don't want to do that here. I don't want to skip certain things that we know people are going through and can relate to. This is game for everyone.
That's what I want to speak to them about. But man,
it's cool. Like we can like just keep
you
it
can't
real.
shut off all the youths that are still on the roads, fam.
We gotta
Nah,
include
And that's who
everyone.
I mainly speak to when man.
Yeah, no, listen.
This is
listen,
how
listen,
this
listen,
book
listen,
birthed.
listen. Yeah, listen.
From the jail cells, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll
so
get into
for
that.
it's about the transition. So when I say to them youths, have an end goal, that's your stepping stone, and all the skills you learn there, apply it here, innit? So when I say, what I was just making the
Transferable
comparison,
skills.
it's transferable skills. So I'm just showing you that it takes skills and stages to success.
Going to the book almost finally now. Like, tell us, like, what was the very genesis of this book? How did it come into like the conception from that to reality?
He was in prison.
Yeah, if you want to go the right, it started with me, innit? I got incarcerated for a robbery charge. I got 7 years. So you have to do half. It's England. So when I'm in there, I hit remand. So I'm in the scrubs, and I'm just, you know, when you look around, prison can go two ways. You can either go the wrong way and just bang out. Some man smoke food, whatever, innit? Or you can go the other way and try to better yourself. Go gym, pick up some books. And obviously, you know where we come from, like you grew with us. So man chose the right way, innit? So man started reading, going library, just picking up different books. And me, I'm not really a fiction man, innit? So man's reading books that are gonna teach me something. So man's reading biographies from all the successful people, Rich Dad, every book you can think of, read it. Like I'm not saying 10 books, I'm talking about hundreds of books. And what I used to do, I'd have a little notepad. I'd write down anything I like from a book. It might be a quote or just one line. I'll just write in my little notes. You get me? And then we both say it like, when you read, it's like a computer, innit, downloading a new bit of software. So every book's like a new piece of software. So by this time, like when you're in jail, you're vibrating on a different frequency, innit? You got no outside distractions, no material. It's just you in your little prison tracksuit in the cell alone. So no distraction. Reading. And the more I read, the more my little notepad was getting bigger and bigger. And then I'm just thinking, bro, like, even before jail, I hit jail when I was 21, like, and I had him. And my man's always been on point with the money, telling me what to do, and I'll be hitting licks and dibbling. Like, man done everything, innit? So he'd show me certain things. So when I'm reading his books, I'm thinking, bro, man's a real hustler. Like, man had youngers, man's made dough. I can write my own book. You know what I'm saying? And then it just hit me one day in the cell, innit? From my little notepad and all the books I'm reading, the name just popped in my head, like, and it was just there, the Hustler's Holy Book. You get me?
Did you know that you were writing a map or blueprint, if you will, to how other people can get money?
It's one of them things like you I can say yes and I can say no, because when you start something, you just start it. It started organic, it started natural, but you still dream big. So I'm still thinking this is the best book I'm thinking this is the best book.
No, the new one coming.
Nothing's
better than it.
The best book. I believe in it, and that's what happened. So it started in a note form, innit? And then it started structuring throughout the years. So it started over that 3.5-year sentence. I got the DCAT. I used to roll computer room with my little folder. I used to tell the man, yo fam, I got the million in this folder, innit? This book is, the man believed in it, like they watched the process. And then I came out, but it was still note form. And that's what I used to say to him, because I know his knowledge, his wisdom's different. Like,
he's one of the wisest people I've ever known.
Yeah. So I said to him, yo bro, we got something, blood. Like it's here, the base of it's here. And it took a while to convince him, because obviously we're doing other things. He had business, different thing. And then our brains clicked together, and then his touch, that's why it's the both of us, it's two minds together. Like we're very similar, but we're different. Like it's very,
He deals
I deal with more structure, facts. He's got the stories, it's mad. Only us two could write a book like this as well.
This one,
Not just from the knowledge, just from the
this-
upbringing, where man's been,
this
the way
Experience.
experience. Like, it's only the spirituality that's inside of us, the consciousness, the different religions that we're tapped into. Like, only I feel like us could have wrote that book. And the
yeah,
second
this one.
that's
like,
the first. It's
I
like
call it like it's like a little recipe book. Yeah, you pick it up. It's gonna inspire you to give you the ingredients to start your own business.
I
But
call
you
it-
have.
I
It's
call
like
it the introduction.
It's like
to
it gives you the
finance.
basics.
the
This gives you
introduction.
the basics. Yeah, it's like a little recipe book, and if you take little ingredients and put it all together, you can start your little business and go on to make something of yourself. But you have to take the little gems out of it. Yeah. See the next book. The next book here is like an instruction manual. You can literally pick up that book here and live by it
tell you how to
completely.
live
It'll,
your
tell,
life.
it'll give you
rules.
everything, like values, morals, principles, certain skills. If you like that, this book that is about to come out, I'd say end of the year next year, is going to be the best book that's
End
ever
of this year or end of next year?
end of this year.
starting.
Will be
End
the
of
But what,
it's the hardest book that's ever come out.
what I say with these books though as well is like, not every man's gonna pick up a book. So for even us, our type of characters to write a book and give it to the youth, this is more appealing to them, innit? Because they're gonna listen to our story more than the average person who hasn't even really lived a life. They're not even gonna listen because his information is not transferable. So that's what it comes down to, transferable. Like, so
And
us man, that's why it's a
Something I'd like
bestseller.
to add, it is a bestseller. Yeah, this has gone number one a
Call
lot
it
of
what it
times.
is.
Yeah, man's bestseller is number one out here. Yeah, you're done now. But yeah, basically, it's not just about money. It's about values, morals, being conscious. So it's not just like, because a lot of people, they think, oh, how can you write a book about money? Because you haven't got 100 M's. There might be someone watching this that's got 100 M's, and they'll be like, I know more about money than you, because I've got 100 million and you've got whatever you've got, yeah? My thing is, the spiritual side, they can never touch it. Like, not to put myself on whatever, but where we come from and the upbringing we've had, like the roots, my mum, my dad, that's like a whole different interview another time. We're very, very spiritual, very deep, and we're just giving people life lessons, isn't it? It's not just about money. It's the Hustler's Holy book, but the holy matters as well. It's like you're a hustler, but you're holy. Like you've got good morals. You're a good individual.
Finally, what is one piece of advice from each of you that you would give to anyone
You go first.
trying to make peas out here, like young people coming up or even people our age, mid-30s?
I feel like you could answer this in so many different ways, but I'm gonna keep it very simple. Because even at my age now, I've shut down certain business and I'm trying to follow a different path, because I believe you should do what you're passionate about, do what you enjoy, and master it, and then the money will come. So people go the backwards, they're trying to chase the money first, and they're thinking about all these different jobs that can make them the money. My personal thing is you might have to go broke for a little while, but you'll survive, innit, man? Survivors, we're hustlers. So just do what you enjoy, what you're passionate about.
But you should tell them to get a job at the same time.
And maybe, yeah, if you need to get a job, but you can get a job in that field of what you're passionate about. Like, we could use any example, down to if you wanted a clothing label or a record. Do you know what I'm saying? You could work in a studio while you're chasing that dream. But I feel like do what you're passionate about and start now, innit? Like, all the youth them out there chasing the wrong side, forget that. You're going to get 10 years down the line and you're going to want to go back, and in that old 10 years, you could have made the maddest business that's grown into something, innit? So start as soon as you can. If you're later on, like our age, in the 30s and that, start now as well. You might have to quit your job and just chase what you really care about, innit?
So
Otherwise, you're gonna live a lost life, man.
My thing is like we don't always agree, and I'm not disagreeing with him.
No,
I
of
agree
course.
with him, but we have these arguments and
Yeah, we have a
debates all
lot
the
of
time, yeah.
Conversation.
Because we're different, innit? And I agree with him, but I'm talking to the people that might not be able. They might have so many different things going on. They can't necessarily do what they want to do. Sometimes you've got to do what you have to do. You've got responsibilities. You've got rents. You've got to support kids. You've got to support your mum. All these different things, and you want to pursue your dream. You're saying go broke, but you can't go broke.
You can.
So, no, because you've
There's
got
no
to pay.
such thing as can't.
No, we live in it. Listen, we live in a real world. You've got these bills, and he has to give his mum.
Downgrade.
He has to give his mum five bills or whatever it is, a bag. He has to pay that rent. That's a bag, or he's going to be homeless. He has to pay for his car. He has to pay for his kids. He might have 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? And you're saying, no, just do your dream. Sometimes you can't get to it straight away. You have to make sacrifice, like our mum made. Sometimes she didn't want to have to go and be a cleaner in someone's house while she's doing university, while she's studying to be a teacher, and leave us with other people and go and grind for £5 an hour at the time or whatever it was. But she had to do it because she had to feed us. So sometimes you've got to do things. It's not your passion, but it's a means. It's not a means to an end, but you have to. You're gonna get to your passion later, but you have to
That's what some
get
people
stable,
teach.
make your money, and do that on the side. And when that starts growing, you can leave that one. But a lot of people have responsibilities. So my advice is, always have an income. Yeah, no matter what, you never do nothing. Like always be working. Like find a job, even if it's a shit job. If you can't get the job you want, just get the job you can get. Just get whatever you can get. And make sure money's coming in, and then you can focus on other things, innit? While you've got that job, you can be applying for other jobs. But my thing is like stability, budgeting.
I'm gonna agree
Get your
with
mind right.
because you got to agree in it. There's different sides, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna apply this way, just make sure it's only 2 things. Because the energy thing, that's what I would definitely enforce to the listener. Like,
What do you
don't
mean 2
spread
things?
your energy too much. So if you're doing the job that's just giving you the income and working on your passion on the side, just stick to those 2. Don't start jumping shit, because that's where your energy depletes. It goes too wide and you won't get shit done, innit? So you might have one job working on your passion, what I'm saying, so we can bring that back around and bring us together on that. So yeah, the Hustlers Holy book, you can get that on Amazon. The Instagram, follow the page, it's called the Hustlers Holy book. We've also got the social media platform, OG's Network. That's where we get active. So yeah, the Hustlers Holy book. Look out for number 2.
Ogspiritual1.
Ogspiritual1.
Number 1,
Giving you the wisdom, the game.
Yeah.
Love. Peace.
It's a wrap. You're done now. Hey, cut that.